mention Patsy a lot, but it was mainly with her. With my divorce, she was my responsibility, and we got very close even growing up. Patsy always used to say, "Mother and I go as a package," you know. I mean, she knew that too, but it's because I felt so responsible for her, and I was so determined that she was going to have a good life. Then the boys came along, which I loved dearly, but Owen was there to help take care of them. He took care of them, you know, to help. That makes an awful lot of difference. I know that. And then she was a girl. That was a little different too. Girls are closer, you know. Well, not really, in a way. All my life, I used to babysit a lot, but it was always girls. And I grew up in a family of 4 girls, just girls. So I never took care of boys at all. When Bob was born, I had him home. I was changing his, Owen was standing there, we were changing his pants, and I said, I looked at Owen and I said, "What do I do with him? What do you do with a boy?" He said, "Just be careful. You're changing the pants." And at that time, Bob just sprayed practically in my face. I learned in a hurry. But I just was not used to boys. To this day, I have a hard time sometimes understanding their ideas and feelings about things. Not girls. Girls I can understand. But not, isn't that crazy?
You've had a lot of boys and men in your family.
Huh?
You've had a lot of boys and men in your family.
Yeah, Well, boys do have, you know, now their dad could understand them. You know, I mean, that was no problem. Owen, and he knew what they wanted or what they, and I can remember swimming. See, I don't swim, scared to death of water. And I scared my daughter of water, too. They would, and when we came to Big Falls, the kids would swim where they have the horses now, that part of, that was the low part of the river, and that's where all the kids started swimming, is down there. And I used to take Patsy down there, but I never enjoyed it, and she knew I didn't, and she knew I was afraid of water. I know she knew that. I scared her to death of water too, I know. But then the boys came along, and that's one thing he said, "Keep your mouth shut about that river." He said, "Those boys, there's never been a kid in Big Falls that ever drowned in that river. Not Big Falls kids. There's been some drownings, but not Big Falls kids, because they have learned how to treat that river from when." So I looked at him and I said, "Fine. When they want to go swimming, that's going to be your responsibility. They're going to go down to the store and ask you when they're going to go and where they're supposed to swim." I said, "I know nothing about that river." He said, "I know, and I do not want you to scare them to death like you did Patsy." You know, and it's true. He knew. So every time they had to go swimming or anything, they'd go down and ask Dad, you know, and tell him where they were going to go and what they were going to do.
Are they good swimmers?
Huh?
Were they good swimmers?
Oh, yes, they swim like fish. Both of them. They learned in that river. They start down at the Bible camp, and they would go to the bridge, dive off that bridge. Oh, when I saw that afterwards, between the rocks, and then they end up below the Bible camp, or below the regular park, down in that area where the water starts getting really rough. And then there was a certain spot that they would dive from. And I can remember, that's when I went with them that time. Bob said, Bill wanted to go down there and try it. And Bob said to me, he was older then, and he said, I think Bill's ready for that. That's fine. I'll take him down, you know, and show him how to do it. So I had to drive him down. That's why I was down there, because I had to drive him down the river. When I watched him, here was Bob up on top. "Okay now, Bill, dive right there between those 2 rocks right there." And he said, "Don't get scared, because the current is going to take you down so far. He knew exactly how far the current was going to take him down, and then you can swim out. That's exactly what happened. And here I was sitting in the car. Just about died. I thought, those kids are going to kill themselves. But nobody got hurt. One time Bob came home when they were on the bridge, just swimming, and the kids were diving. There was a whole bunch of kids, Marty, Cody, and Randy, and that whole bunch of kids that were all together. And he came home laughing his head off. I said, "What's so funny?" And he said, "Oh, Mother." He said, "Some tourists came by and stopped and watched them. See, what they used to do, the one would stand up on top, and then he would watch, and when this kid came between the rocks and swam out, then he would motion for the other one to go in. I mean, they used to help each other that way. It was just natural. They just always did that." And this tourist said, "Oh, is this a precision dance or precision swimming team?" I thought, oh my God, those kids learned to swim all by themselves. But that's what they used to do. They would stand up on top. One would always be there. The one that was ready to go the next time would watch till this one go in through the rocks. Randy, not Randy, but Marty Cody did get hurt. He hit one of those rocks at one time. He got quite a gash someplace. I can't remember just where it was. But that's how they learned to swim in the river, I'll tell you that much. They all did that. That's why it was so good to have